I feel like the main thing, let me just place the camera down. The main thing, you have to be able to get into a spot, into a state of mind where you're at peace, okay? Where you're light. You're just light, you know? I can't quite explain it. I think the best way to explain it is just being light. Taking things, as they come, being light-hearted, not taking things too seriously, being able to joke, to make fun of yourself, to make fun of life, to see the humor in things, to laugh it off, to be able to no, talk to your parents and talk to your siblings and your family members, and be nice to them and kind and generous, and treat them with respect and love, and make them laugh. We're just so caught up, we're caught up with everything. We're just trying to be successful, trying to be, this person, this successful man, this businessman or this businesswoman, or this, you know, this very successful human being, or makes a lot of money. And we just put so much pressure on ourselves, and we just don't live life. We just don't live it anymore. And what's the point? What's the point of living life if you're just going to be all caught up and just not being able to appreciate, anything anymore? You just can't go out. You can't enjoy, just walking. You can't enjoy anything because you feel like a failure. Like you feel like you're not good enough. You feel all these things, all these emotions. And especially for young men, it's terrible for their mental health, because they're just walking around and they feel like a failure. Like they haven't done anything with their lives. And you think it would motivate, but it doesn't. It's just painful. It's just pain, you know. And this isn't a video about, just crying. It's not about crying. It's about just the pressure that young men are put through, um, to be successful, to make money, to hustle culture, and all of that. It's like, what's the point? Like, I don't mean to sound like what I'm sounding like, but it's just like you go through life and it's just there's no fun anymore. You can't laugh. You can't laugh. I used to laugh when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to laugh so much. When I was a child, I used to love making people laugh and just, being funny and being humorous and making jokes and playing football, and then just enjoying my free time. And there wasn't worries, there was no worries. The only worry I had at that time when I was a child was probably losing weight, because I was kind of fat. I was kind of chubby. And it's funny, right? But I just remember those times where you're just so light-hearted, and there's nothing, there's no battle. There's no interior battle. There's no spiritual battle. And you're not fighting demons all the time, you're just very light. And I wish I could be like that again. But it's so hard. It's so hard when you just feel like nothing you do is enough. I'm very young. I'm only 22. I was able to make a bit of money, but I just threw it all away, because I felt like it wasn't enough. So I lost so much money trading, man. And it's like, sorry for using the word like, it's just hard to select the correct words, you know, the right words to make everything make sense, to articulate myself in a proper manner. But yeah, boys, I think the main message is not taking life too seriously. See where you need to improve and, you know, focus on them areas, but just look at the positives as well, because I bet you've accomplished a lot of things as well. So just being able to, you know, pat yourself on the back as well as constructive criticism is very essential to have that balance where you're not always just criticizing yourself all the time and just being harsh and feeling like a failure. There needs to be like a balance where you're able to, you know, pat yourself on the back, but also have like, you know, being able to analyze where you need to improve and, you know, and all of that. But it needs to be the right balance, because for so many years I was just like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you know, you're ugly, you're ugly. And I'm not talking about just, you know, appearance. Of course, appearance, you know, that was always on my mind. But just as a human being, you know, I just always felt ugly as a human being, as like a person. Like people, I wouldn't understand why people wanted to be around me. I just didn't understand. And just and self-sabotaging behavior as well, you know. Whenever good things would happen, I would just self-sabotage because I felt like I don't deserve that. I don't deserve these good things happening to me, so I might as well just throw it all away, you know? And that's what you call self-sabotaging behavior. And it comes from, you know, low self-esteem, not thinking you're good enough, a bunch of things. I don't know, ways. Maybe I'm not making sense. But I feel like these videos, no one watches them, but they're, you know, if one person watches this, I'll be very happy, you know. I just don't want people to feel alone no more. And I feel like it's more for me, you know, it's more of like a selfish kind of thing, you know, just wanting to put things out there so it can make sense in my head. If I speak it into existence, or if I speak it and I express myself and I get things off my chest, I'm able to organize things better and just, you know, clear my mind and just everything makes more sense. But yeah, like I don't want to speak too much. Um, I think I've said enough. I think I said all I wanted to. But yeah.